It was one of the years that before a rehearsal, Project One decided to go have Burger King. And I'm like, why would you have Burger King before a training session? And I'm like, I can just tell him right now, or I can make him feel it. So that's exactly what I did.
Punished.
I ramped up the training session a lot more than I would usually do. And they obviously all felt sick because they had Burger King.
I was on the verge of throwing up the whole time.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Project One Dance podcast. Today's episode is part 2 of our sit down with P1's creator and former crew leader, Chippy Lo. So if you haven't listened to part 1 yet, make sure you go do that before listening to this one. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about letting go of your dance students and letting them find their own path, about how to work together as a crew when you don't have a singular crew leader, about how to create memorable choreography as a crew, and Chip is going to share his #1 highlight of teaching Project One. So sit tight and let's get into today's episode.
So when did you decide you wanted to stop giving to Project One and leave us?
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh?
What a segue, huh?
Well, when you think about Project One and training any crew in itself, there are certain things that they have to figure out themselves. Just like parents, you know. Parents can't be in your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think most of you, are already at that stage that you're like, shut up, mum. I know more than you.
Whoa.
Mum, I would never say that ever.
But, you know, it just like anything, you, like any leader, like you have to remove yourself for you guys to find your own identity and for you guys to figure out and iron out certain issues to make the crew better. And also for you guys to understand how hard it is to run a crew. And some of you like Rob and Ryan has you know, now a crew leaders and ran your own crew. And obviously you guys now understand what it takes, you know, to run a crew.
It's so much more than you think when you're just in a crew. Like, I mean, not even having done it for very long, it's just like, there's so many things you don't think of.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
behind the scenes.
And I feel like training you guys for 5 years, it does take a toll on you because you guys are still, you know, spring chickens, you know, have the stamina and energy to do a lot of things, and vice versa. I'm not in that same boat. So you guys pick up things a lot quicker. Whatever I teach you, it got to a point that you guys were chewing up what I teach you really quickly. And I ran out of things to teach you, you know?
Right.
And then I'm like, well, I have things that I can still offer. However, for your next journey in terms of your growth, it's all about Project One as your own identity, you know, understanding who you guys are as individuals and also as a crew. And to do that, I needed to remove myself and not get in your way. Because there's like, as much as I would love to keep training you guys, it got to a point that I know there are certain things that Project One wanted to do, but it will probably be a lot smoother if I wasn't there. So I was just removing myself for you guys to do the things that you want to do and experiment and try different things out. And along the way, there would have been many lessons you guys would have learned without me. And that's the things that I can't teach you because you have to learn it yourself.
And I think in that same way, like it's not like we don't see you multiple times a week or like, you know, and
Chip's still there.
Yeah, and you still give us like all these opportunities as well that we're so grateful for.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were saying with crew, it's also a huge time sink, right? And I think, you know, with you doing all these other things as well to such a high degree, like I think it makes sense as well in like a straight up ROI like type mentality, right? But we're like those 5 years that you were with us has been like so grateful for all the things you have given us during that time and all the things you continue to give us after that time. So thank you, I guess.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And I know, like, you know, we all, you know, say, oh, you know, Chip can come back and join the crew now. Now he's not teaching it.
He said 2 years. He said he would join, and we're coming up on it.
If we can
pretty
survive
soon.
2 years without him.
Yeah, it's 10 months, right? It's October, right? So you still have
3 months.
anything
3
can
months.
happen in 3 months, guys. Anything
Chip's
can
just
happen.
trying to break us up now.
I'm not trying to break anyone. I'm just saying anything can happen in 3 months. You know?
No, but like on a serious note though, like I think back when you told us first that you were planning to let us go, and be our own individual crew, I'm sure we were all pretty shocked and upset, naturally, because you had been such a big part of the crew for such a long time, but I really think that was that push that we needed. It was kind of like a make or break. It's like, did we really want to keep this crew going, or was not having that crew leader person there going to be what ended us?
I get what you're saying.
And it kind of forced us to stand on our own 2 feet and figure it out.
Yeah. It's like, why do we really
for
want to be
ourselves?
in
Why
the
we
crew?
wanted to be a crew, and why we wanted to keep doing this.
I'm glad that you guys are still together, and I'm glad Project One is still going strong and doing like so many amazing projects now. Like, you guys have evolved from doing just dance competitions and stuff like that. I mean, like, there are like other crews out there that continue to win dance comps and stuff like that, which is amazing. Like, but at the end of the day, what is a dance crew? What is an all-style dance crew? Is it an all-style dance crew just crews that do dance competitions or enter battles and things like that? And every dance crew is different. And I guess you guys needed to figure out what type of dance crew you guys are and what you guys want to do. It's not like, all right, I'm the crew leader, everyone needs to do what I tell you to do. I don't want to be a dictator. I'm like, I'm your crew leader that leads you to, help you to bring out the best in you guys, and teach you guys certain things. And I guess when I left, it was to do with seeing if you guys can utilize all the skills that was taught to you to stay together. Yeah. And another thing was also because in a more selfish sense, is that I also had all these other goals that I wanted to pursue. So I obviously needed to take time away, because training Project One at the level that you guys are now it's a lot harder than training, just a junior crew or any other crew, because you guys are all so highly skilled in your own field. That it takes a lot of brain power to figure out, what is it that every single individual needs, that if I do this type of training, everyone will get something out of it, because everyone is so strong in your own field. So I can't just be like, I'm going to do this type of training because it will benefit the boys. Yeah. But then the girl's like, oh, I don't need it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it was like, I need to level up. I need to upskill myself, and I need to do different things as well in order so that I can provide more opportunities in the future. And this will be a good test of time to see, like, how P1 goes without me as well.
I mean, that first year without you was really hard.
That was tough.
It was very, very hard.
I felt like that was probably one of our more unproductive years, but I think it was purely just because we were trying to figure out what we were doing. It was such a big learning curve to try and figure out, there's no one here to tell us, all right, you go there.
Yeah.
Time
It's
to
like
do this now. We're doing this. We're getting ready for this.
Yeah.
We
Who's leading us? Who do we listen to?
Yeah.
Who makes
There's
the decisions?
There's a lot of
It went from
not conflict, but it's like
It went from one leader to 9 of us.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a shock at first to try and sort that out and figure out.
Well, you guys figured it out. You guys figured it out.
Still
You guys,
figuring it out.
Even during that first year, you guys released so many projects. Being able to continue to grow your channels and do podcasts and get grants and do video projects and stuff like that. And being able to utilize your own personal skills into it. Like you really, really found your identity as Project One and what role everyone plays. I think that's the most important thing. It's as a crew member, sometimes you can get stuck into the, I'm just a strong soldier, and not necessarily know what is my purpose in the crew. Because everyone in the crew has a different purpose. If you want to be in the crew, if you want to be a part of Project One and want to continue to grow, it's that eventually you'll figure out, I'm this guy in the crew, or I'm this guy in the crew. This is what I do. This is how I can contribute to the crew, and it's important. It's important for all crew members to know how they can add value in. As opposed to just like I'm just a member.
I'll just wait to be told.
Yeah, I'll just be told what to do. Because if you're like that and you don't really add anything, then that's fine as well. But you gotta really think how that individual must feel as well if they don't contribute. And everyone has an identity and they found the identity, so it's great.
Aw, thanks.
I'm so just stuck listening here because it's just like it's such a different perspective of us as a crew, and hearing it. Like you've spoken to us like in the past about us as a crew and all that, and sort of given us insight of your view. But this is really like on a lot deeper level.
Since like you guys are like doing your own thing, like I get feedback from like other dancers from different states, like telling me things like, Project One is doing so well. They're like so consistent with like putting out videos and stuff like that and pushing things like, and I get like maybe you guys haven't been releasing anything recently, but like anything in life, you can't just keep go. You need to reflect, reevaluate, and understand. Okay, what's next? To keep the quality refreshing, keep the content refreshing, as opposed to, let's just drop videos every single week. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with doing that as well. Okay, so don't comment and be harmful about it. But yeah, just saying like it is important to reflect and understand what's next. What are the other things we want to do, or what you guys have in mind.
I really want to know, what was the highlight, like the absolute peak of your time during like coaching P1? What was the moment that you were like, oh heck yeah?
There's so many moments.
Yes.
Like, pick one.
Give us all the
greatest
moment.
Pick one. This is. I want to narrow it down to a single.
I think being able to cook for you guys in Arizona, like that was one of the biggest highlights for me. Like even though it was me cooking for you guys, but it just felt that all those years that I was in a restaurant that I hated, like finishing school and then having to go to my parents' restaurant to work for the restaurant, and then having to go through all those oil burns and like, all those things of what happens in the kitchen, cutting myself, to being able to cook for the crew that I train and making sure that they're having the right nutrition so that they can go on stage. Like, I don't know, to me that just felt amazing that I was able to do that for.
It was like an interesting parallel.
Yeah.
Like to where you started to where you are now.
Like something that I disliked when I was a kid ended up to be a huge value and huge blessing, because I was able to help a group of kids, making sure that they had good nutrition and they ate well and stuff like that. So big props to my dad for like, teaching me all that stuff. Like I used to dislike my parents for like, forcing me to do all those type of things, but now I understand it was all meant to be, It was all meant to be.
Wow.
Dude, I was just like, yeah, sweet dinner.
It was such a good dinner though.
It was a good dinner.
Good.
It was very
Yeah,
good.
it was. It was definitely one of the highlights. Just being able to sit down, just to cook a meal for like a crew that I train. Like I honestly, like I saw you guys, always thought of this whole thing about, you know, if I was a parent, I think this will be what it will feel like if I'm a parent. It's like, you know, cooking for your children, making sure that, you know, they do well, eating the right stuff, and when they don't eat the right stuff, teach them a lesson.
Burger King. Oh,
Dude, we had way too much Burger King on that trip.
So those that don't know that story is that there was one, I think it was 2019. We went. Was it 2019 or 2018? I can't remember.
It was 2018.
Yeah.
2018 was first year.
Yeah, but I think it was one of the years that before a rehearsal, Project One decided to go have Burger King. And I'm like, why would you have Burger King before a training session? And I'm like, I can just tell them right now, or I can make them feel it. And they will remember it a lot more. So that's exactly what I did. So after they had Burger King, I ramped up the training session a lot more than what I would usually do. And they obviously all felt sick because they had Burger King.
I was on the verge of throwing up.
Yeah, so I thought, and I'm like, they will remember this forever, so they won't ever do it again. And I think it worked.
I think it did too.
The secret is you just have 2 mandarins after Burger King, and then you're good.
You're golden.
Genius.
It worked for me. It can work for you.
Genius.
So eat your veggies, eat your fruit,
Eat your veggies.
Yes, have that fiber, guys.
have your green beans.
Yeah.
Just one more thing that I wanted to know was, you know, again, when it came to an end of you teaching Project One, and I guess this is kind of good insight on where you currently are now with your new crews. Was there anything you looked at with P1 and went, I wish I did this instead, or, you know, is there something that you wanted to do a little different next time?
I think at that time there wouldn't have been anything I could have done just because of my skill back in the day. I don't think I would have trained you guys any differently. Because, you know, obviously the skill that I have. That one of the things that I have learnt is I would probably want to choreograph everything within the pieces, because I think the pieces that I've done for you guys and also for the current crews that I have, the ones that I choreograph myself and I do everything myself, is always the most memorable pieces, because I understand the musicality, I understand the story, I understand how I want everything to look and how I want everything to feel. So definitely, I would try to, whatever style I want you guys to learn, I would definitely try and learn that style first before teaching you guys, as opposed to getting a different teacher. Like, I'll get different teachers to come in to teach you guys certain things, but definitely won't get them to choreograph your competition routines, or just any routines in general. Like, it works. However, personally, I've just found that all the routines that I do from scratch by myself is always the most memorable ones that, the most memorable ones that the audience have. I think one of them, one of the routines you guys did, which was very memorable, was obviously Happy Feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
So a really good Project One classic. I purely did that just for fun, just because I was watching Happy Feet, you know, and I'm like, yo, this part will be awesome. And then straight away I thought of Josh. I'm like, he will be the star of this part. Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, this just speaks Josh. And I had that whole vision in my head, and when I pieced everything, even though back then I didn't really do locking, and I definitely didn't do whacking.
Yeah, think about that. You choreographed a first place whacking piece.
Yeah.
I don't think it was I think there was only 4/8 of whacking in it, from what I've learnt on YouTube, but even though it wasn't like the most amazing, you know, whacking choreo or locking choreo, the concept itself, like, was still there, and I understood all the timings and the musicality and everything, which just made training a lot easier. Because sometimes when you let someone else choreograph a comp piece, you're using their timing and using their musicality and their skill. And obviously, like, you know, their skill set in that style is higher than you. That's why you get them to choreograph it. However, understanding the timing and the choreography of how it should be executed allows you to clean it a lot better, as opposed to getting someone else to choreograph that routine. So definitely, that's probably would be one of the things I'll do is like, probably choreograph everything myself. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I do definitely get what you mean. Like when you get other people to choreograph, it's like maybe you don't understand what they were going for as well, or maybe they don't understand what your overall story arc of the piece is.
Yes.
Like it just doesn't connect as well. It is obviously good because it's a skill set that you don't have that other people can bring in. But yeah,
it saves time. It definitely saves time and stress from you. But I think in terms of in terms of vision, like even for next year, like I have like so many ideas for comp pieces, and just learning about music and what styles go well together using certain music helps you improve generally as a dancer and as a choreographer. Because there are certain things that I want to do next year that I'm like, oh, I need to improve in my house. I need to improve in my hip hop in order to do that. So right now I'm training house, and I'm revising all the party moves that I know so I can do it for next year. So definitely, being able to choreograph everything yourself is an ability to make sure that that piece is how you want it, and also an opportunity for you to level up in your current dance ability.
Yeah.
Dope.
Wow. I feel like we
what
could.
an insightful episode.
I feel like we could talk for hours,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I'm sure we definitely have to have you back on
Have you
at
back
some
on.
stage.
Definitely. All right. Well, I think we'll leave it there for this episode. So thank you all so much for listening. Please,
Thank you.
please. Sorry, you were saying it.
I was going to say thank you to Chip for
Thank
being
you.
on
Thank
the
you.
episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It
Thank you
was
for having me.
Long overdue, but we managed to get you here.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I've been wanting to be on this podcast for a while now, and finally we made it happen, guys.
Made
we
it
made it
happen.
happen.
Made it happen.
We'll have to
Is
do
Chip
episode 2 soon.
Chip's our first non
P1 guest.
P1 guest,
Non-P1
right?
member guest, yeah.
Yo,
Of course, it
Had to be
Had
Chip.
to be
Had
Chip.
to be Chip
privileged.
first.
Privileged.
Chip's always part of P1, so it doesn't really count.
2 years, 2 years.
3 months. You got 3 months, guys.
All right. It's been so long since we've recorded that I've forgotten our
We got Project
outro.
1 signing up.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's what we
It's
say.
so easy.
That's what we do.
That's what we say.
I like how we keep it simple like this.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you everyone. Chip, Rob, Ryan for being here. My name's Josh. I'm your host. This is Ryan, Rob, Chip again.
Yeah. All right, wrap
I'm
it up.
just
Let's
padding
go.
this out.
Come on.
I'm padding this out
For what?
For what? For what reason?
for no reason. Just
This
to,
is being
just
Project.
to see if they'll sign off before they get to the outro.
If you listen to this point, you're a true
You're a
P1
real
fan.
G.
If you
You're a
listen
real
Let
this
us
long
know.
and you're not subscribed, ooh.
If you listen to this point, make a comment. I might
Make a
give you a
comment.
prize.
Whoa.
Maybe a 10 class pass at
Whoa.
Project Extension.
That's pretty good. That's
yeah,
pretty
so if
good.
you're still listening, comment and just say, I'm still listening, Chip. Yeah, and I'll hunt you down and I'll give you a free 10 class pass.
Dude.
Maybe. Only one. So,
So whoever comments first.
whoever comments first. Yes.
First?
No,
First, okay.
no. Whoever comments.
Or
Should it be a random draw?
random draw.
Random draw.
So if you're
Random
still
draw.
listening, comment, I'm listening, Chip.
I'm listening, Chip.
Yes.
I'm listening, Chip, with a smiley face.
Yes, has to have the smiley.
Has to have smiley face
No
with a
smiley
count.
face. No. Yeah, you don't get into
No
the draw.
10 class pass.
Yeah.
And we'll do a random draw.
Random draw.
Yes, random draw.
This is the first podcast we've had a giveaway.
Yes, and we'll
Maybe, if anyone comments.
We'll give away this 10 class. We'll do this draw in the next Project 1 podcast.
Wow.
Dope.
Oh my god, he's marketing genius
I like
right here.
it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow.
All right, this is Project One.
Signing out.
You've been listening to the Project One Dance podcast. If you managed to catch Chip's secret message in that episode, then make sure you comment it below or send it to us in our DMs to go into the draw to win a 10-class pass at Project Beats Dance Studios. This thing is worth $240. You seriously don't want to miss out on this. On our next episode, we're going to be talking with what is potentially one of Australia's best ever dance crews, Sweet Feet. We drove all the way to the Sweet Feet house to talk to them about how they won silver at the World Hip Hop Dance Championships and about our rivalry and our friendship with them from competing with them back in the day. So if you want to hear about that, then make sure you tune into the next episode of the Project One Dance podcast, where we talk about dance, life, and everything in between.